What's going on, everyone? My name's Dom, and this is the Completing the Circuit podcast, episode 1. This is my good friend
Joe. Nice to meet you all.
and he's going to be helping me out with a lot of these things. So, yeah, this is a podcast that extends off of our YouTube channel. We're basically just going to do tech commentary. I know there's a million of those out there, but we're hoping to kind of put a little bit of a different spin on the whole medium. Myself mostly, but I've noticed, as have so many other people I've talked to, the industry has just been a stale, stagnant mess. A lot of lack of innovation, a lot of lack of creativity. Everything just seems to be about dollars and cents, return of investment. I'm hoping with this and with the YouTube channel that we'll be able to kind of bring things back to an era where risk is rewarded, and sometimes it's not rewarded. But technology used to be an art form. It was an extension of the self. It was an extension of what we are as human beings and what we can create. And it just feels now it's all about friggin' megapixel, more lenses, and frickin' Snapchat. And you know what? I kind of want the phone that I can throw at my wall and it becomes 60 inches wide, and it plays whatever I want while I'm thinking about it, eating popcorn. Mm-hmm. Just instant movie mode. So, this for this episode, I really want to focus on Apple right now. So we're recording this July 2nd. And June was a big month for Apple.
Yes.
A lot of things were going on. You had WWDC. Right now, there's a massive slew of iPhone 12 rumors that have been coming out. A lot of them good. Some have been really out there. I have no idea what they're thinking. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So, Joe, I'm going to start you off by asking you a quick question. What did you think of Apple's WWDC this year?
It was a lot better than previous years. Probably think it's probably been the best since the last time Steve Jobs was alive.
Yeah, I agree. They covered a lot of stuff. They have iOS 14's nice. It's I know you installed the beta.
Yes.
I did too. They didn't add a whole lot when I actually got in there, but what they added is really nice, right? You got widgets.
Yeah.
I haven't got a chance to test out the car thing. I don't even think the car thing is going to work with my car. I know they said 2021 Beamers.
Yeah.
Support.
The 2021 Beamers are the ones that are going to get it first, and then they'll go back and probably add yours.
Yeah, hopefully that would be nice. But watch it be the 2016s and not the 2015s.
Right.
And yeah, that would just. Yeah, I can see you laughing.
You'll just have to get a new one.
Yeah, I'll just have to get a new one. Exactly. That's the whole ploy, right? So, yeah, it's funny. I actually remember mentioning a few years ago when I had my iTech Dom YouTube channel. I did it's one of my more popular videos, relatively speaking, like 4,000 views, about, it was a you don't need a new smartphone right now video. And I remember talking about where is the car key functionality. So I'm glad something's finally happening with that. So I was excited about that. We got widgets, app drawer thing. And
what's nice about that car thing is it's not going to be just BMW either.
Yeah, it'll extend to a lot of brands. I'm really curious to see who else.
They're starting with the BMWs, but then, like you said, they're going to be going to different brands. So.
Yeah, I'm wondering if their sole focus is going to be those who have integrated CarPlay, because I think Toyota was one of the more resistant car manufacturers for Apple CarPlay. I know Lexus didn't have it for a long time. I don't even think they have it now.
I've never heard of Lexus having one. No, for Apple CarPlay. Kia.
Yeah, Kia, Hyundai, that whole group has it. I believe Ford has it. I don't think Mercedes has it. I know BMW has it. They were actually, I think they were one of the first to have the wireless CarPlay.
Yeah, and just a little thing with BMW. Actually, a question for you. Why do you think they picked BMW over anyone else?
So the BMW fanboy in me wants to say because BMW is awesome and I like Apple and that works out really well. But no, I think it was just Apple said, hey, who wants to have their car demoed at WWDC? And I mean, it's not like, I don't think there's not a whole lot of car brands that have CarPlay, but BMW is one of them. So they kind of have the most money. I don't think Audi might have CarPlay, but I'm not sure. But I know BMW definitely does. So I think it was just a numbers thing. BMW paid Apple a bunch of money.
I just think it's the technology aspect of BMW. They're the best when it comes to technology packages and everything else.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It makes sense for Apple to just it makes sense for Apple to do that with BMW.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And you know what? It looks good too on their showcase. It looked good to have the nice fancy, flashy 5 Series on there. It looked good. It was cool. So that but I'm definitely liking, as you were saying before, the direction that they're going has been a huge uptick. It wasn't just about, I think iOS 12 was all about optimizations. iOS 13 was, I don't even remember what it was about, what they added. This year finally felt like the first year where we're getting big Steve Jobs-like changes to iOS.
Yes.
It does more.
And even though it's little, it's not a lot. It's the aspect of it being easy.
Yeah.
Making people's lives easier.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Works.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah.
That's what needed to be done. It's just something that just works.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what Apple was all about.
Oh, yeah.
It just works.
Yeah, you could see Steve Jobs getting quoted like a bunch of times saying, it just works, it just works, it just works, in relation to Microsoft and everything like that. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see. I'm really happy with the beta so far. I haven't noticed any major bugs at all, to be honest. It feels like a final release, but we'll see what happens.
Sure.
Then the other big one, I know they did some stuff for WatchOS 7 or with the sleep tracking thing. That's a big one that people have been wanting.
There's more faces as well.
Yeah, more watch faces. That's pretty cool. I'm surprised they don't have watch faces in the App Store. That seems like something some people should be able to create. You could spoof together an effect and then
you can. In that, you have to download apps, of course. Right. But you can create your own app face.
Watch face?
Or watch face, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Through these apps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really mess around with the app. I just have the Siri watch face because I like to see like when I have a meeting coming up or something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they added there. If you go into the watch itself, they added a lot more faces to it.
Oh, did they? Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Okay, cool. Let's see. They did some stuff for Apple TV with showing security. I know they did some smart home new partnerships with Amazon and Google. Google owns Nest, for those who don't know, and the Nest camera, Nest security, home security system. And it's been a big ordeal getting Nest support into Apple's HomeKit app. So I'm hoping with this new partnership program, whatever it is they're doing, we'll move that forward. So I love the Nest cams. I think they're a great product. They're well made. But not having the HomeKit thing is super annoying. So, but that was more or less that. Some picture-in-picture stuff, whatever. But the other big one, macOS 11. So no more macOS 10. It's macOS 11. I know a lot of people have been talking about Big Sur. I know I have not put it on this machine because I use this machine for work, but you put it on yours. Mm-hmm. What do you think so far?
I think it's great.
Yeah?
Yeah. Again, it's a beta, but it's working. It works flawlessly. Mm-hmm. I like how everything is easier to get to. So people that are wanting to people that want to transition from Windows to Mac, it makes it a lot easier. Because before, when you train it, people from Windows to Mac, the biggest thing to them was, I can't find this, I can't find that. This Big Sur makes it seem like you can find things a lot easier.
What do you think of the icons? There's been a lot of controversy over the...
I like them. I don't see any issue with the icons.
Yeah.
Honestly. Honestly, the thing is with people complaints, you're not going to appease everybody.
No.
So there's always going to be some people that don't like this and don't like that. But to me, it's easy on the eyes. Mm-hmm. And the icons show what it is.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there and be like, well, what is this thing? This looks like this.
I mean, they are a pretty radical change from what they are. They got those harsh shadows on there. It's like a weird, like the old style iOS icons were skeuomorphic, right? So they were pseudo-realistic in the sense, Notepad was a notepad and they had shadows and stuff. And then Johnny Ive went and made everything flat and the whole flat design took over. Mm-hmm. So this is like a weird blend between them. I know a lot of people have been talking about them. They're not the worst thing in the world. The one that looks really strange is that battery in the settings. That one looks like a baby bottle for aliens.
Yeah. But, again, this is a beta. So
yeah, they'll probably
it could
change
be better. It could get better.
I know a lot of people have been talking about mostly just that particular part has been like the number one.
I don't blame them.
Police change. That one's
When you buy a MacBook and you look at that, I mean, that's just sad.
It looks like 1998 Microsoft Word graphics with some shading. That's what it looks like. It reminds me of the dog. Can I help you? Or the paper clip, but you could change him to a dog. I always made the dog. He's like, can I help you find what you're looking for today? Bark. So that was, or woof, whatever. So yeah, that's been interesting. But so yeah, then they went into the ARM stuff, the switch from Intel. But I want to get into that one possibly a little later. No, definitely a little later. Now I want to talk, I want to jump into, since we're talking about iOS, the iPhone 12. Okay, so I'm going to kind of combine these two segments here, because Big Sur has the control center like thing from the iPhone, right? When you're doing UI design for computers, for a mouse interface versus a finger touch interface, like you get a mobile device, there's some design things that you need to take into account. For one, when you use a mouse, you want to make sure that your elements are small and there's not a lot of distance between them. And then for touch elements, they're big and you can touch them with the fingertip and so on and so forth, right? So a lot of people have noticed in the control center on Big Sur that there is this touch feel that you get from iOS. Have you experienced that at all?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I kind of makes you think. Are they doing this in making this in the future for touch MacBook Pros?
They're talking about it.
Because in the past,
well, not them, but other people have been talking about it.
In the past, they'll put something like that, little things in, and you never thought about it, and then all of a sudden you see it in something else.
It turns to something else, exactly.
Right. So it made me think that, like, are they trying to basically give us a hint that possibly MacBook Pro is going to become a touch ability, touchscreen?
Yeah, and it wasn't just that. So there was the UI stuff, but then they also announced that all the iPad apps, all the iOS apps, unless the developer opts out, when because they're with the whole ARM switch, that those iOS apps will be able to just work right on macOS. Mm-hmm. But as I was saying before, those apps are designed for finger touch, not for mouse touch. And what do you do about things like pinch to zoom? You can't pinch to zoom the same way on your touchpad, or even if you have your touchpad, let's say you just have an iMac, you can't do it with a Magic Mouse. Mm-hmm. It's not designed for it, right? So how are they going to pull that stuff off? Now, again, they said a few years ago that no, they're not merging macOS and iOS, and there's not going to be a touchscreen Mac. But it's looking like it.
Right. Right.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I know Steve Jobs was super against the touchscreen experience. You got to, bring your hand up and touch the screen, and it becomes exhaustive. You get fatigue, as he would say, as you have to constantly bring your hand up to touch an element on the screen, back and forth, back and forth.
Or what they could do is have the pencil that you have for your Mac or for your iPad.
Yeah.
Have it work with your computer. Then this way, if people don't want to use their fingers to touch, they can use their pencil.
they can use their pencil, and that can work. That definitely. Steve Jobs also against styluses, which is funny. But even when you look at those particular components, and they were all against the vertical display with the touchscreen, the iPad with their new smart keyboard attachment is effectively a touchscreen Mac. It's running iPad OS, formerly iOS, right? But it's still a vertical touch surface. You still got to flip the thing open and touch the thing.
Right.
I don't know. It's looking like they're going to be that there's something going on.
I mean, look at this. Just like they were saying that that iPads would never use a mouse with an iPad. Well, with the new,
with
the new one, now you can use your trackpad. They have a trackpad now, and you can use its mouse. So
you can. I have my Magic Mouse paired. I have a Magic Mouse that I have paired with my iPad.
Right.
And I think it works great. There's a few quirks to getting used to it, but once you get used to it, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. The iPad I can see going. The iPad apps I can see more easily transitioning over to macOS, especially with the new mouse support as developers add mouse support for their apps. that kind of stuff will probably translate over well. I don't know how the iPhone is going to do it, especially when so many apps have like physical hardware requirements, accelerometers, cameras. Now all the iPhones have multiple cameras on them. That's not to say that all apps need that. Most of them just need your screen, some speakers, and that's it. But if all the apps are going to work out of the box, Apple doesn't do that kind of stuff where they're just going to saturate the App Store with a bunch of like apps that don't work well. That's never been what they do. So I don't know exactly what their plan is. I mean, how are you going to do the Photoshop, that Photoshop Lite, whatever, the mobile Photoshop thing for your phone? There's no point of bringing that over to macOS.
Right.
So again, and I'm sure there's billions of other apps. You're going to have the same. You're going to have the same problem. So I don't know. And it's going to be a while with the whole ARM switching thing. So yeah, a lot of changes to macOS, especially. Just the number alone. We've been on OS 10 for a long time. But my question is now for you. There's been one of the things I love about the Apple stuff is their continuity, right? You get a text message on your phone, you can answer it on your MacBook or your iPad or whatever. You get a phone call, you can pick it up on your Mac device and then bring it over to the phone. So all that continuity, do you think if they're going to be merging everything together, their biggest seller right now is the iPhone. With the iPhone 12 coming up, I'm wondering what they can possibly have in the pipelines as far as, are they going to improve continuity? Are they going to add more? Are they going to add less? With the apps being cross-platform, how is this going to... My question for you is this. How do you think this is going to affect the iPhone experience in the future?
I think it's going to just affect it positive. I don't see it being a negative at all.
Yeah.
To me, Apple, and this is my opinion, and I think you might share the same way, but Apple to me it's seamless when it comes to continuity.
Yeah.
It's a seamless transition from device to device.
Yeah.
So in the future, do I think it's going to affect it negative, the iPhone negative? No.
No.
I think it'll be a positive.
Yeah, I hope so, because it's nice to have the services go between the two, like shared. The iPhone has its own experience, and macOS has its own experience, and especially with the iPhone 12 coming out, and all the stuff that they're supposedly adding between the LiDAR sensor for all that depth stuff. They definitely have that. They had that on this year's iPad Pro, and supposedly it's really cool stuff. Supposedly there's going to be promotion, but then supposedly there's not going to be promotion, but then supposedly there is going to be promotion. It keeps going back and forth. What's the latest on that?
That is as of actually July 1st, from Julie Clover. Sorry if I'm saying that name incorrectly. They are saying right now that there won't be.
What's it? What news channel is she from?
Oh, sorry. This is from Mac Rumors.
Oh, Mac Rumors?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're saying that there will not be 120 hertz promotion display coming to the iPhone 12.
Wonderful.
They are saying this has been said over and over, and this was actually from a person young. I'm trying to see if there's a full name here, but ma'am or gentleman, I don't know. But they're saying that Apple is not expected to make that until 2021.
They were supposed to do it with the iPhone 11 Pro. Instead, they made it look like a face shaver and made it green, which I love the green. That's the only reason. To me, I bought it. I wanted to see what the camera stuff was going to be like, sure, but I did it for the green. I really like that green. It's a cool color with the frosted glass. It really does it for me. And first time ever I've had, so my iPhone 6 was white, but every other phone has been black. So even if you were to say all I've ever done is white and black phones, that's the first like colored phone. So I never did rose gold. Not that they've had many colors, I guess, but either way, yeah. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. I really think it needs to have promotion. It's an amazing experience on the iPad. And it just makes everything feel nice. And so many other Android phones have 90 hertz, 120 hertz, 144 hertz. I get it, right? It's probably like a battery life issue. Mm-hmm. With the iPad, you have a big old heaping battery that you can run at that frame rate all the time. But in the latest iteration of rumors, I heard that basically what Apple Watch are they on now? 5?
Yes.
Okay, so the Series 5 Apple Watch has the variable refresh rate screen. So they have it down to like one refresh per second, and that's how they can get away with the always on display. Every refresh takes up battery power, that versus so the slow, the more you reduce your refreshes, the better you do on battery life. And I know that when it comes to battery life on the iPhone, that's a big deal to Apple. So I can see how throwing promotion on there, which is going to kill your battery life, is not an experience they want their customers to have. Mm-hmm. But what I thought they were going to do was take the variable refresh rate and the promotion and mix them together. So if you're not doing anything with your phone, it could just sit there and just go one refresh. And then when you start to do stuff, depending on the app you're in, depending on what you're doing, you could just send the refreshes to the screen and it can refresh as you need it. You're playing a big fast action game, 120. You're going on Facebook, 60 or 75 if you start scrolling fast. I don't know. That's what I thought they were going.
And by the way, I just wanted to make sure I give this person credit. It was from Ross Young.
Ross Young?
Yeah,
okay.
Ross Young.
Over at Mac Rumors too?
This was... this was, Mac Rumors, but I don't know if he's part of Mac Rumors. It doesn't show. Yeah. But yes, it's Ross Young, and you can, if you are interested, you can follow him on Twitter at DSCC Ross.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that, what else is going on in the iPhone 12 pipe? Oh, the charger thing. Okay, so let me go on a little thing here, and then I want to hear your opinion. So I hear both sides of the story. This has been all over YouTube. Supposedly, the iPhone 12, for those who don't know, and I'm sure you do if you're listening to this, because you're probably listening to it far in the future, because this is our first episode. There's going to have like 3 viewers of the first week, probably. So the iPhone 12 for 2020 is not going to come with a charger. So the phone's supposed to start at like $650 or whatever, all the way up to $1350 or for whatever it's supposed to be. No chargers.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard two pieces to this. 2 reasons. One is most people that buy iPhones already have chargers. And even though the lightning cable is unique to Apple products, even people with Android phones probably have a lightning charger going around. I know I have like 80,000 of them sitting in my thing. So I can see how, all right, if their thought is no headphones, no charger, I think they charge like $30 for the charger, $30 for the cable, or $20 for the cable, $30 for the headphones. All right, fine. So you knock the price down $100. A little cheaper, might be able to sell more. And that's fine, I guess. But I think their big argument has been, or is going to be, reduced e-waste. And with this, I can somewhat understand. The Verge reported, Dieter Bohn at The Verge was reporting that, in his story here, apparently last year, 300,000 tons of e-waste was generated just from in-box chargers. I know I get an extra charger. I don't throw them out. I might leave it in the box, or I might just throw it in my drawer somewhere, but I can totally see someone say, well, I already have a charger hooked up on my nightstand. I already have a charger on my desk at work. I already have a charger in my car, so I don't need this. Mm-hmm. I can see a lot of people throw the charger right out with the box, and that's a lot of e-waste. And Apple's always been environmentally friendly. On the other hand, though, on the other side of the argument, it's a charger, and it's an essential accessory for a phone. All right, so you get some battery life. So you get the phone shipped, 80% battery, even let's say 90. It's your first iPhone. What are you going to do? That's a bad experience for anyone who's new to iPhone. Also, it's a $1,000 phone. A lot of people are making this comparison. It's like buying a car without wheels. Mm-hmm. You have the car, but you're going to have to go get wheels from someone else, and then you could take it home. So, you own the car, like it's yours, sure. But you're not going to go very far with it, right? So, I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's crap. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's crap. If you're saying that we're going to save $100, woohoo.
Right.
That doesn't mean nothing to me, because $100 or not saving $100 and get my charger, I'd rather just have the charger, even if I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
And people that are throwing it away, don't throw it away, sell it.
Yeah.
Make money off of it, because there's a lot of people that will buy it. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want it, don't throw it away, sell them. That's just my opinion. But no, I think it's just complete crap, and My thinking is it could hurt Apple in the long run for not doing this, because Samsung's always giving out their chargers.
Right.
Right. I never heard of them not giving chargers with their phone. So I think Apple needs to reconsider if this is true.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any manufacturers ship their phone without a charger.
Right.
I heard a comparison. MKBHD said on one of his videos, it's like if you're faring on the side of it's justified for Apple to do, he was saying it's kind of like when photographers buy DSLRs. They buy their cameras without the lens. Mm-hmm. Right? You need the lens to make the camera body does nothing without the lens. Mm-hmm. But anyone's buying a DSLR probably already has lenses that they're going to use. And if they don't, they can go and get a little starter kit for next to nothing, and at least they can get them started until they can upgrade their lenses. But I agree, it's an experience. I don't know, they got away with the headphone jack thing, man. And right now, I'll tell you this much, and this is something that I didn't realize was going on until Apple did their whole $1,000 ProMotion display stand stunt that the guy got some laughs on stage when they announced it. Everyone starts talking about it. Everyone on the internet's talking about this thing right now with this no charger thing. So Apple's basically just pulling in free press, free SEO value from on Google searches, on YouTube. Everyone's talking about this thing. Everyone knows about the iPhone 12 now. Mm-hmm. And then watch them just have the charger in there anyway.
The headphone jack thing, I think that was easier. That's easier to forgive than it for a charger. Mm-hmm. The headphone jack, I believe, is okay. Fine. Obviously, wireless at that time when they got rid of it, wireless is the way to go.
Yeah.
Did a lot of people have a hard time? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But they got over it because they're like, oh, AirPods, or I got wireless headphones here.
And that's an interesting thought. That AirPower thing supposedly coming back, their wireless charge pad that charges up all their stuff, which I filled my place up once I found out that the rumor was coming in that the 2021 iPhone was going to be full wireless charging, no port, no nothing. I guess it'll have like a smart connector charger type thing, or maybe it won't. Everything's going wireless charger. I don't know. I've been in love with them. I have literally have them all over my place. So is that their way of getting people to go buy the AirPower charger? And now that you have all these people with the AirPower charger that's able to charge their AirPods and their Apple Watch and their iPhone, now it's like there's no need to include it. Are they just kind of just saying, you know what, we're gonna give them the coolest phone that we possibly can, make them want it for what it can do. They'll get over the fact that it doesn't have a charger, have them buy AirPower, and now guess what? We're never gonna have to supply a charger with our phones again, because everyone will just have a wireless charging pad.
And I agree. I can see that. Yes. If that is the case, my thinking is this, and this is nothing against anybody, but the people that are spending the $1,300 on the iPhones, throw in the charger.
Yeah.
Throw in the charger, and if you are trying to get us used to the Air chargers, throw it in. Give us something.
Yeah. Yeah, or give it to us at a discount.
It's something. No, not even a discount. Give it to us.
Yeah.
I mean, if people that have these iPhones that are spending the $13, they obviously spend the money on the Macs. They obviously spend the money on the iPads. Give us a bone.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're saying I'm spending $1,300 now. I have to go spend at Apple price. If I go at Apple, probably $60. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
For an Air charger.
Oh, it's probably going to be more than that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's $150.
There you go. So now I'm at over $1,400.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is that they advertise the iPhone 11 Pro as like, for professionals with all of its cameras. Okay, professionals with cameras. I don't know if you've done any like photography or anything crazy out there. You need batteries, man. You need lots and lots of batteries. I need batteries for my cameras. Like they eat them like Cheetos. They just go. It's crazy how fast they go through them. So I just can't imagine a system where you don't get. If you buy a Pro phone, give us like a Pro charger. Doesn't have to be wireless. Just give us like whatever, 30 watt, 20 watt. I know they do. I think they're doing 18 watt chargers right now in the Pro Max. That's fine. That charges decent. That charges pretty fast.
Yeah. Give
us that, at least for the pros.
Yeah.
Incentivize.
And then even for people that are getting the iPhones at $600 and something, if you're giving them a charger, Doesn't have to be
the basic, the little 5-watt
yes,
cube.
It doesn't have to be the wireless or the air one. Just give them something as well.
Yeah.
Because $600. Let's say a family's a mom and a dad are getting their son for a birthday gift, right? Their first iPhone.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, and that's an interesting point. I mean, those who aren't familiar with technology, we catch up on this.
Yeah.
But a mom and pop or who go to a store, get their kid his first iPhone, they're not following this stuff. They got 9 to 5s outside of tech.
Yeah, and then you got those cell phone companies. The salespeople. Their job is what? To sell. So now you got these people that are going to come out. They're coming that maybe are not. They don't know much about technology. Now they're being sold. Oh, you need this, and you need this, and you need this. It's not fair.
It's not.
Apple, please just give those people a chance there.
Something.
Give them the charger.
Yeah, give them the charger, or at least, I mean, if you had to pick something, right? At least the lightning cable. I would say anybody can find a USB port somewhere. If it's gotta be no charge brick, if it had to be from some master plan, Steve Jobs from his grave, this will change the world thing. Mm-hmm. The reception, I think, is going to be really, really, really negative, and I think people are just going to have built-in spite when they do the reviews and the phone gets out. At least the lightning cable.
I mean, this is going to make Android, to me, look more promising.
Yeah, especially with basically all the phones now doing Type-C. Yeah. And you can go to your friend's house, you could have a different Android phone, and it's Type-C, so it charges. Yeah. But, it's Apple pulls this stuff, and I saw this. They are the first company to have a valuation on the stock market. $1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion. So if you were Jeff Bezos times 10, you could buy Apple. Mm-hmm. And wow, that's a lot of money. I mean, he has a lot of money already. When you think about all he needs to do is just multiply himself by 10. You need 9 more than that.
That's not going to be hard for him.
Yeah, with how Amazon's doing, seriously. But I don't know how they do it. And now everyone's going to copy. That's the other thing, too, with the charger thing. Apple clearly has value. This is a huge, huge, huge milestone for them. I think they were the first company to hit $1 trillion valuation.
They were.
They were. So the first company in the history of humans, $1 trillion valuation. Now they hit 1.5. They're on their way to 2.
Yeah.
And they're pulling this kind of stuff.
Other companies I don't see following. Because I think what's going to happen is with these...
You don't see Samsung following?
No. Because Samsung's... You got to give Samsung... I give Samsung credit. They're smart. They're very smart.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have been talking about how... Well, I won't get off that tangent. Sorry. I'm going to get off of that for now. But I don't see Samsung doing that. I think they're going to be actually smart about it. They're going to keep going with the charger because what's going to happen is Apple will have to... If they do this... and their phone starts sliding in sales because of it, they'll put the chargers back in with them because...
I would assume so.
I mean, if you're going to be in competition with Samsung and you're just going to be like, we're worth $1.5 trillion.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Samsung will just keep going with what they have, keep putting the chargers and making their customers happy, and then then you got Android users that are going to be like, "Well, our phones come with
the charger." Yeah, I can see the advertising now. When they moved the headphone jack to the bottom, Samsung made fun of them for months.
Yeah,
doing that, but Samsung continues to copy them in a lot of ways. Samsung has their own thing.
Yeah,
I got a Note 10. You got a Note 10 Plus. I got a Note 10 Plus. You got a Note 10 Plus. Cool phones.
Yeah,
they got their own way of doing it. They have a lot of things I don't like, and I will be doing a review for that phone on the YouTube channel very soon with the Galaxy Note 20 or whatever it's called coming out soon.
Yep.
So I'm going to talk more about that.
And I don't mean to cut you off. You would think with the Galaxy Note 20 and the iPhone 12 coming out, those are two powerhouses right there.
Yeah.
Why would you not give the charge? I'm sorry, I keep
it's
bringing
tough.
this in.
It's tough. It's a tough subject to escape.
Right, but why would you not give people the charger when you got a powerhouse right behind you with their own phone?
And people buy them.
Yeah.
I think Android has like 80 something % market share.
Yeah.
So, but we
can get off of this. I'm sorry. Otherwise, we'll be talking about this.
Yeah, we can just talk about charger. Yeah, they do it, and this is another thing as far as impacted the whole industry. They're switching to ARM, and ARM processors. So ARM processors is a different type of architecture for those who don't know. Apple in 2005 went from PowerPC, which was an IBM-based processor, to Intel processors. And maybe it was through an exclusive deal. Why it lasted this long, I don't know. They're now switching to their own in-house processors. And Apple's gotten really good at making their own chips. They make them for the iPhone. They make them for the iPad. They make them for the Apple TV. All that's left is their Mac line. I think there's even processors in the AirPods, super tiny ones. And some of the advantages are, for one, they can make they know what the Mac's going to be in 2022, let's say, right? So they know exactly what they want it to do. They can build a chip specifically designed for it using all their in-house expertise. Custom made, unique, specific for the computer. And I'm sure it's going to work great. I would not be surprised if through Apple in the next couple of years we see with this switch to ARM an all-day laptop. I would not be surprised. And I would buy that instantly. If I can get a laptop for work, I unplug it, throw it in my bag, and I can run it however hard I need to all day long and have 30-40% by the time I get home, 8-9 hours later. Oh yeah, I'd be all about that. I would be all about that all day long. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the PC side and other parts of the industry, because Apple making this move, from what I understand, it's like 3% of Intel's income.
I'm not worried about that.
I'm not either, but this might be just the start. If Microsoft decides to make that move, then Dell, and if Microsoft were to supply an ARM version of full Windows, so they had the Surface, their Surface RT line, which they had an ARM version of Windows, but it didn't load their standard Windows 32 apps that you can run on your normal Windows environment. So it didn't sell too well. You buy Windows, you want to be able to run that stuff. But if Microsoft creates an ARM version of their kernel for their operating system, well, now Dell has the right to make their own processors, HP, and right now AMD is kicking Intel's ass with all their stuff. Intel just kind of dropped off. I don't know what happened.
Intel is, the way I can explain Intel is they are mostly a business chip.
Yeah.
That's how I would say.
Yeah. They've switched there. They used to be big hardcore gaming.
Oh,
Core
yeah.
2 duos were like the
Yeah.
Crisis at 10,000 frames. Well,
they're also
10
overpriced.
frames, but
very overpriced.
they are overpriced, but Intel has come with features in security and testing that AMD does not. AMD has not had a clean record.
True.
So Intel has the expertise, but I think you're right. I think they got into the business space. Their investors were happy. They sat comfortable for a while, and they just had manufacturing problems. They haven't been able to release the latest and greatest. Apple has it doesn't seem like Apple's been happy. I know the last few iterations of the MacBooks, thermal issues, constantly thermal throttling, bringing down performance, overheating, loud fans, just a myriad of issues.
Yeah.
And they want to go thinner and thinner and thinner with their MacBooks, and they just haven't been able to do it.
Yeah.
So I can just see them dropping them off.
Let me ask you a question. With moving to AMD, do you think Mac is trying to become a gaming laptop?
ARM.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
ARM.
ARM.
I apologize, ARM. Do you think they are trying to make a move to the gaming world?
I think they want to. I think they're pissed off. Steve Jobs famously hated video games. But I think the money-making part of Apple, because they are a business, and I like them, but they like their money, and they got a lot of
business.
Business. I think they're pissed off at Microsoft for the whole Halo thing, because originally Bungie and the whole Halo thing was going to be on the Mac. Microsoft came in, bought it, put it on their Xbox. That was all early 2000s, right? So that being said, so many games Windows has the biggest market share. Mm-hmm. And DirectX is proprietary to Windows, and that's what the games are written for. NVIDIA and even AMD and their graphics cards, formerly ATI, I believe, they write all their stuff for DirectX on Windows. That's how they write their code. OpenGL and macOS and the Unix kernel in macOS just it can't run that stuff. You have to have different code to run the same game on that operating system. Now they're switching up to ARM, like you said, and I think they want to get into that gaming space between all of the esports that Twitch and everything, and that whole Twitch thing, that what's it called? That streaming service that Microsoft bought, and they had an exclusive, or they didn't buy it, they were running it. They got the top Twitch streamer, that ninja guy. Oh my goodness, what is it called?
Steve?
Mixer.
Okay,
Mixer.
Heard, yeah.
So Mixer is done, right? So anyway, there's a lot of money in gaming. There's a lot of money in gaming, and I know Apple released Apple Arcade recently.
Mm-hmm.
I believe now you can even pair up Xbox 360, or not Xbox 360, Xbox One controllers via Bluetooth, and I think soon PS4 controllers via Bluetooth, so iPad, other device. I think they want to. Long story short, yes. And I think with some recent things that have been going on with gaming and Linux and Unix that I've heard over on the Steam side, long story short, again, they're looking to create a way for the Windows games to just run as they are on Unix-based kernels like Mac OS and like Linux. This is what I think is going to happen. I think Apple's going to do whatever they're doing right now. They're going to keep going. They're going to secretly work on gaming in the background, and then they're just going to buy Steam, because even EA is done with their Origin platform,
Mm-hmm.
and then they moved all their games over to Steam. So Steam is the be-all, end-all. And Apple has the money to buy it, even if it's like $8 billion, $9 billion, $14 billion acquisition.
That's junk change.
Yeah, exactly. They have the money to buy it.
Yeah.
So if they buy it, well, Microsoft might not have any other choice but to go to ARM at that point. Because if Apple pulls Facebook bought the Oculus Rift. Facebook has no business in gaming. It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. So Apple, right now, we look at them as no business in gaming. I think that they're up to something with that. And I think they're gonna, because the biggest thing it's not so much that Mac OS can't run games. Games aren't coded for Mac OS.
Right.
It can. It's not great at it.
No.
But it can, and with some good optimizations, you can get some decent performance. Maybe not on 5K displays like you get out of the freaking iMac or the 6K Pro display, but yeah, a 1440p experience, absolutely you can get that. Especially if you run Boot Camp, which runs DirectX, and then the game runs fine, right? So the hardware can do it. We've seen the hardware do it. So yeah, my thought is they're working with Steam, they're working with whatever, something's going on. They're going to straight up buy Steam, make all the developers migrate their stuff over to ARM builds, and then that's it. If you're not running ARM, you're screwed. Intel's done. Microsoft's going to have to make an ARM version of Windows, which is going to make Dell and all the other ones go to build their own chips in-house. I think this whole ARM switch thing is going to be the biggest game-changing thing in computing since the internet. I really do. Because the efficiencies that we see with the iPhone and the iPad, you have an iPad, you leave it in your drawer, fully charged. You could leave it there for a month. Come back, thing has 12% power.
Yeah.
They're amazing at what they do. And laptops' biggest weakness
Is battery.
Is the battery.
Yeah.
And iPads right now pump out desktop-like performance, laptop-like performance. And the chip is small. It's tiny.
Yeah. Last question about this part for you.
That was my rant.
No,
I'm done with that.
no, last question, because it does have to do with gaming, and this is the last one before this, because I have my thinking of this. But do you think Apple is working on a gaming console?
I think Apple TV is going to become their gaming console-like experience. I think they're going to go there. It might be a bigger version or a game enhanced version of the Apple TV. I don't know when they're going to do that, but I think it all depends on how these other moves go. Right now, they're focusing on the ARM thing and making that switch and helping developers get switched over. And I think, as a back burner project, with their Apple Arcade. What is that like? You said you signed up for the trial, right?
I actually paid monthly for it.
You pay monthly for it. How is it?
It was not great,
no,
in my opinion. But I will have to say, they've added new games.
Okay.
To it, more new games to it, and it's starting to catch my interest.
Okay. Is there any good games on there besides? I'm assuming there's Fortnite and frickin'
No Fortnite,
no Fortnite, no PUBG.
No PUBG.
Okay.
These are strictly Apple games. There's no outside
Oh.
Yeah, they're Apple. Yeah, these are Apple.
They're not third party.
Nope.
That's interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
that.
you won't find Call of Duty. You won't find any NBA 2K. These are just strictly Apple games.
Okay. Well, that might explain why it's not very good. Yeah, you need those third party developers to make those good games. But yeah.
We'll get to the gaming part in another podcast.
Yeah, we'll get to the gaming part. But yeah, I think Apple's going to branch out there because there's, like I said before, there's a lot of money to be made there.
Yeah.
And sure, Apple said, if you ask someone at Apple, yeah, you want 30% of all gaming revenue, like you gain 30% off the App Store? Sure, yeah. Yeah, how much could it cost? What, 20 billion to make 400 billion? Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. And then at that point, I have no idea what would happen, because you have all these PC guys who are going to hate on Apple, but now they basically are, you know what I'm saying? Their hand is kind of forced to try something new. Their hand is kind of, and if they already have an iPhone, you're going to have those gamers, right? All right, they're not into Mac OS, and that's fine. It's its own experience, different from Windows. It's not what you're used to. But you already have your iPhone. I can see for those individuals, it'd be a little easier to sort of transition over. You know, the iPad users, a little bit easier to transition over. If you are Android and Windows, it's going to be a long time. But like I said, that's a long ways away. If anything like it's going to happen before 2030. But yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
And between and Apple's jumping into a lot of stuff too. Apple Glasses is another big thing that leaked out, and I'm sure they're mad about that. So you have iPhone 12 stuff leaking all over the place. This ARM thing, I mean, Apple in the middle of this year has been huge, and this Apple Glasses thing, I'm all over it.
Yeah.
The idea of, and Apple does things in a very specific way that I know that they're not going to be some big, hulky, gross, ugly glasses. They're probably going to be thin, probably a little heavy, a little wireless charging pad. You got to put them on at night.
I heard that it's actually supposed to have a Steve Jobs look to it.
Yeah, there's a Steve Jobs edition with the circle frames and stuff like that. That'd be cool. I feel like a lot of people are going to end up looking like Harry Potter with the round lenses.
I'll put the Z on my forehead. Why not?
Yeah. You get a little lightning bolt, right? Yeah, a lightning cable. You put it on. You put that on your head, right?
Yeah.
So, but I am curious to see what'll happen. I know that the base price supposedly is $500. The announcement could happen at the end of this year or early next year.
Well, the thing about that price, I had an article, and I believe it was from 9 to 5 Mac.
Yeah.
I lost that article, but what they were saying is you were right.
Yeah, we can throw in the description later. Yeah.
The base price was $500, but there was a thing about how, depending on your insurance, it actually could cost $1,500 because of the lenses.
Prescription lenses.
Prescription lenses.
Okay.
Yep. Depending on your insurance,
Yeah.
but it could cost up to $1,500.
So if you just get basic, no prescription lenses, it'd probably be $500.
Probably.
So it'll just come out of the box. Then you got to get them filled with some. Okay, and you know what? Yeah, I'd do it. To be able to see,
glasses are expensive as it is.
They are.
You know,
$1,500 for glasses.
No, I mean, yeah, you could go
some,
get maybe it'll cost you $100, $200. I don't have glasses, so I don't know the prices, but
they vary.
Yeah,
most of the time you get up that price because you're getting designer stuff. You know, I mean, if Apple's going to start competing with Gucci, you know, I don't exactly know how well that's going to go over, but you know that the hip hop songs are going to be talking. Got them Apple glasses. you know that's going to be all over the place. You know you're going to see it.
Lil Dicky will probably come out with something.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, his will be Android glasses, or his will be like Palm OS from like 1990, 1997. I got them Palm Pilot glasses, right? I'm probably going to jump at them. I wear contacts, and contacts are fine. They're a bit of a pain, but I love the idea of an AR Apple style way of doing it. 'Cause I know Google had Google Glass, and that didn't seem to do too well.
You just want Siri in your face, don't you? You want the maps in your
Siri's
face.
already in my face, so I don't want her to be. I'm surprised she hasn't gone off during this podcast one. You know what? And they need to fix her too before they do this Apple Glass thing. This whole WWDC, all this updates are doing. Fix Siri.
Yeah.
Fix
Well,
Siri.
not just Siri. Fix your HomePod.
Fix the HomePod's fine. The hardware's
Siri.
fine. It's Siri. Yeah, it's Siri. I don't know what it's gonna take. Fix Siri. Why is it Alexa?
probably watching their products being thrown out the window might get them to fix it.
Seriously, and the thing of it is, it's got great they got great hardware, and so but in order to make the glasses work, Siri has to work.
Yeah,
Siri has to be phenomenal. In order to get that real pristine experience, because what I would love for the glasses to be able to do when I envision them is, you get your notifications, right? That's easy, but I would like the glasses in future iterations, probably not the first one, to be able to identify, hey, he's looking at his calendar, or hey, so and so sent him an email and it's on his screen, right? And so it's not necessarily on my phone, but it can see and transcribe and say, okay, John wants to schedule a meeting with him. Let me go ahead and get that queued up. So, a message waiting for him to do that, right? It's an add-on. It's an augmented thing that can get things ready for you as it sees them.
You know what'd be really cool is you just have to look at the icons and it just...
Yeah, that would be cool too.
You know what I mean? You
yeah.
Look at maps and it just pulls up maps for you.
And it'll be interesting to see. I'm just curious to see like what that all is going to look like. Is it just going to be like my field of view? Is just going to be all the icons?
I'm sure there might be like either like a small button that you press for the things to pop up.
Yeah. It's probably just a Siri command. I'm not going to say it because you know who's going to go off.
Yeah.
Which probably won't because he's broken.
But I mean, what would be really cool is if they can just make a Siri like a Cortana from Halo or the little AI.
That would be cool. It's like a female, but Steve Jobs cosplay.
Yeah. Or just have a thing.
Or it's Steve Jobs, but dressed as a chick. Like that he didn't really die. He just became Siri, and they haven't got all the wires hooked up yet.
Yeah, the voice hasn't been synchronized.
Yeah. So that, you know what? I don't know. They've been. All I can say is this: charger or not, glasses or not, promotion or not, Apple's making some big moves.
They are.
They are certainly
good or bad. They're making moves.
Yeah, they are. And like I said, the biggest thing right now that I'm excited for, glasses and that switch to ARM. I work in software development. I really think that's going to be a huge thing. And then now they're going to have, if they do it right, which maybe they'll do it right off the bat, they'll do it correctly, maybe they won't, I don't know. But if and when they get it right, the impact that's going to have to the iPhone, the impact that's going to have to the iPad, they may be small, little, minute improvements over time, but that's going to matter.
Yeah.
All that stuff's going to matter to the point where it's like one chip in all your devices. And the other thing, too, with the switch to ARM, it makes things cheaper.
Yep. Do you think the Mac prices are going to drop? I don't.
I think so. And I think they're going to do that to get ready for their move to buy frickin' Steam. Because now it's like, oh, yeah, well, now we have all the gaming stuff. And, oh, look, a $700 starting MacBook Pro that outperforms your Windows machine because you're still running the complex Windows kernel over the complex Intel processor.
I don't see it. I just don't see it like that.
Or maybe I don't know. All I know is that the price savings could be significant.
No, yeah, true, but I just don't see it being under $1,000 for a MacBook Pro, anything.
And even, you know what? I'll tell you this much. Let's say it starts at $1,000, but it has the performance of a $1,800 MacBook Pro today. So a MacBook Air, let's say 3-4 years down the road, right? A MacBook Air that's as thin as
air.
Exactly. That's that thin. Having more power than today's MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Right? And 18-hour battery life.
If it starts for $1,000, that's fine.
And it can play games.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm just trying to think about college students. I'm trying to think about those, people that are beginning, Yeah. I know you can get college discounts with Apple, but it's not that much.
No, but again, I know that this laptop, this is a base 2015. I think we have the exact same one.
Yes.
2015, mid 2015, 16 gig RAM, 256 SSD, Core i7 quad core, whatever. Right? It's got the Intel Iris graphics in it. Right? It's a very, very, very base laptop. This thing in 2017 cost me $2,000.
Yeah.
In 2017, it has no graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
So not only doesn't play games, but it's drastically expensive. Yes, it's got a bigger screen, and I had to get the glow in Apple. I want that back. I know it's battery life. I don't care. I'm going to run this thing until it dies or until they stop giving it software updates. And that being said, with the ARM thing too, we got to be careful because I have my 2019 iMac, and these are all Intel machines.
Yeah.
I think the next version of macOS is not going to support these.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that to a certain degree, but at the same time, maybe not. I don't think Apple will actually turn around and cut updates that quickly.
Just from our 2013, 2015 models. 2016 and future, when they did the butterfly keyboard switch.
Well, 2013's next to be cut.
But these basically fall into the same generation of hardware. The 2013, 2015 MacBooks are more or less the same. They're not the same, but it's kind of like the 2016 to 2018 MacBook Pros are more or less the same.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They fit it at like kind of like car generations, right?
Okay.
You get a 2018, 2019, and it's like Camry, and they look the same, and there's tiny tweaks, but they're basically the same car, right?
Yeah.
Same generation. So that's what I'm thinking.
You could be right.
Now, are they going to can the 2019 iMac? Probably not. That machine will probably get support until... Way too soon. I'd say 2024.
That's so soon.
5 years? Maybe.
Because if you think about it, they're still supplying 2013, and it's 2020 now. That's 7
right, but
years.
this is a completely
I know
different
it's
architecture.
completely, but still, that's still too soon to do that to a lot of people.
It might. We just got to see. Yeah. Now, if they bring the prices down super low, it might be, well, you're not going to get support, but guess what? We have a trade-in program. Go ahead and trade in we'll give you a little bit of extra cash for your old
Just
thing.
don't be like GameStop. $2.
Oh, yeah. But I gave you my first child to buy this, to buy just the keyboard.
Yeah, well, here's 50 cents.
Yeah, I feel bad for you. You want store credit? You know? It's ridiculous. So, I don't know. We just got to see what their angle is. I think their approach is going to be more performance, more battery life, and they're going to sell them cheaper. Yeah. And then now it's like, oh, your laptop's not supported, but guess what? You can get a better performing one for cheaper than you would have got it, the Intel version, if we had stuck with Intel.
Yeah. So
now you're getting more for less, and you can trade in your Intel machine that's never going to get support for any of their updates again. I don't know. That's my thoughts. And you know what? Your glasses will tell you. They'll tell you too. It'll look right at your screen and say, time to upgrade, right? You get an ad.
Hopefully those glasses, by the way, I was going to say, hopefully those glasses can actually be for non-prescription use. People like me who don't have contacts.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
They're not going to lose out of that money. Oh, yeah. Even people who have contacts who don't want to have the actual glasses. I'd probably get them that way, keep my contacts, and then wait until I can figure out how much the lenses are going to cost. And then
for the next glasses, have it where it can switch from, how there's some glasses that switch day and night?
Yeah.
Have that. I don't know if these glasses will have it, but
maybe.
If they don't, at least with the next glasses, have something like that.
Yeah. And I think after that, you have a watch, you have glasses, you got a phone, which is basically your house key, your car key, and your wallet.
Shoes.
Apple shoes. Apple shoes. All it would do is track your steps and tell you if you've gained weight or not.
You'll feel like you're walking on air. They'll be called Air Force Max.
The Air Force Max. The Air Force Max 12 Pluses. Yeah, now in sizes 7 to 24 because we're a progressive company. Yeah, that's gonna go over well. Well, this has been a really fun episode. Yeah. So, I mean, do you have any final thoughts? I don't have any final thoughts. I think we basically covered everything, and I think I'm looking really forward to future episodes with you, man. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Be sure to check out the Completing the Circuit YouTube channel. Whatever it is you're viewing this on, we'll be sure if you're on Spotify or if you're on, if we get it on Spotify, but if you're on Apple iTunes or if you're on YouTube, all those links will be in some description somewhere in the episode itself. Again, my name's Dom.
I'm Joe.
Yep, that's Joe. I have a bad habit of cutting people off. I'm working on that. We're gonna come a long way with this whole channel thing, right? So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Be sure if you have the ability to leave any comments or anything like that, definitely leave them down below. Like I said, definitely check us out on YouTube as well as any of our social media platforms. We're gonna be we're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff next week. I think game consoles.
Sounds good.
Yeah, PlayStation and Sony and Microsoft, big moves.
Oh yeah.
But well, if that's not excited for you, then there's your cliffhanger. Have a nice night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.